Hello everyone, welcome back. It is Thursday, March the 10th, and this will be a short video. It's viewer comments on the Duchess Difficult video I put out, and your feedback and your comments mean everything to me. My disclaimer, and I just want to thank you all so very much for being viewers and being subscribers. I like to think that God sends us special friends to share our lives, very special people we can be ourselves with, talk with, laugh with, hope with, and believe with, friends like you. I'm sure He knows how special that you are to me, and right now, I'm hoping that you know too. This comes from the bottom of my heart. So a few of those comments, shout out to Andrea Royd, and Andrea corrected me on something that I was saying wrong and had confused, and I'll just read you one of the emails that we sent back and forth. I think the confusion arises of the shared office accommodations of the princess at Kensington Palace and what now, on reflection, since we don't know the real basis on what went down, is Harry and Meghan's office was moved to Buckingham Palace. Nottingham Cottage is sort of nestled in the backyard of Kensington Palace. And I think I had it in my mind that they lived there too. And I knew the cottage was close to there, but I thought somewhere I had read that and seen that they were actually living in Kensington Palace for a time and disturbing the other residents there. But I guess it was just close by. So it says another catalyst to the whole saga is H&M wanted their own court, their own machine, PR machine, secretaries, presumed budget, flunkies, control of the narrative. But Charles and the Queen, so I believe, wouldn't have it. Hence, they were moved into offices at Buckingham Palace. You can see from this, it was a battle to control the narrative, and they were not going to be allowed to go it alone. I sincerely believe in my heart Meghan Markle had no idea what control the palace machine has. But when she becomes president of the United States, she will learn that it is not a dictatorship, but a process of many people working together. And there's some sarcasm there. I would add that she married Harry. She was not prepared for the British institution of monarchy. And while I do believe there was a lot she didn't understand, I in no way think that people didn't tell her. I know that she was told, that this was explained to her. Even if it was after they got married, we'll give her the benefit of the doubt on that she did have training, and she was advised by people, especially her staff. That would be their jobs, to let her know how things work if she's having them do something and they need to explain to her that's not the way we do things. So thank you, Andrea, and I always appreciate if I misspeak or say something wrong or mispronounce something, let me know, because I want to learn from it. I'm not a perfect person, and I make plenty of mistakes. So thank you, Andrea. And she was so kind in her responses, and I appreciate that. All I want is for us to be able to have discussions and to learn and just share ideas and our thoughts and opinions with one another. So Diggaroo123 said, I've always wondered if she was treated badly as an actress, and that her alleged bad behavior is a reflection of that. And I'll just read my response. And I won't read the response on all these, but I said, I believe that she was treated no better, no worse than anyone else. It's a tough business, and not everyone is cut out to handle the rejection, and at some point will give up their dream if they have not reached a certain level by a certain age, because they must simply find other means to support themselves. In my opinion, from reading her working actress blog a long time ago, she felt like she was worthy of things but didn't get them, and had a certain amount of resentment and bitterness. This is the way many have felt, but with her, she always believed that she was worthy and chose to find excuses as to why it was others that prevented her from achieving stardom. It was always in her thinking that it was everyone else's fault. They didn't recognize her stardom. She began using that excuse and that it was her color, and therefore portrayed herself as white on her CV or resume, in my opinion. We can see that she still uses that today because she doesn't see herself as we see her or as we do. It always comes down to a person's character and who they are at the core that we base our opinions. She knew her job at Suits was ending, and I believe her age worked against her, and at this point she needed someone who had had money, clout, and influence in their own right. She thought she could use their status to advance herself. The problem is she never discarded her feelings of victimhood, and we see it still today. This is my opinion only, and what do you think? Carlin Dressen, thank you for your endeavors revealing truths about Harry and Meghan. The couple are exhausted in their efforts to portray themselves as righteous, influential, important political activists. It started with many when Meghan had to walk down the aisle by herself of her own demand and wearing that bright white wedding gown and trying to cover the fact that she was not a young, innocent bride. By the way, the church considers the marriage ceremony as sacred. And I just respond back to her as I do too, because I'm Catholic and it's one of the holy sacraments, and that I kind of found it appalling as well. Charlotte Thean, Moonchild, good post. I just can't believe that woman screaming orders to the staff, since she considers herself as all that in a bag of chips, as we say here in the USA. As she snared H like a fly-on-fly tape, she thought she'd rub it in. Interesting, isn't it, that in the USA, it isn't a common thing to have staff who do everything in the home. Where would she get the idea that one can scream orders at staff? Good grief. Harry's wife needed a slap down for screaming anything at the staff. I doubt that any accusations about her behavior were lies. It seems that she snagged H with the tricks of her trade, and he was surprised that he got someone to marry him. I do think, Charlotte and everyone, that was a big part of why he married her, because he dated Cressida and Chelsea, and they didn't want to be in the limelight, and I don't think that he thought he would ever get married, and I think he wanted what William and Catherine had. So he gave her what his family could afford. Something I wonder is if she had such a power education, this is a great point, why she worked as a D-level acting job or a boat girl job. I guess she was the only one to say yes. I imagine that Cressida and Chelsea breathed a sigh of relief that they dumped his weird self. Yeah, I don't know why she didn't give up acting, because many people don't make it, but I guess that was her dream, and I think she thought that she was worthy enough to be up there. Charlotte, my friend, you have had so many good things to say. You're my friend, and many others should start a podcast or make videos on YouTube. If you or anyone wanted to, I would help you or answer your questions if I can. I know you're busy helping out with your grandchildren, but if you want to, let me know. Please keep your comments coming because they're so fun to read. Jennifer Griggs, I definitely think Markle had every intention of going back. She's talking about to the U.S. long before anyone found out. She managed to catch Harry in her web by wearing Diana's favorite perfume, and we'd all heard this, changing her resume or whatever it was to a humanitarian, chasing him in Jamaica at his friend's wedding. And I think he had cut her off. And because she had been Harry's +1, she showed up. And we could see in those pictures that it was like he was having a major anxiety attack and was so just put out that she was there. But I guess, they got back together. I would like to know what happened then. All with the intent to marry him, and famous, thus inviting A-listers to a wedding that she hadn't even met. Well, I think she was hoping that that they would be able to help her out, kind of like Oprah and everybody, like, I'll invite you here to this big event, and you can say you came to the wedding, but at some point I may call on you and ask for your help. So getting back to Jennifer's thoughts, she thought the deals would come flooding in Tinseltown once they got back. But that's not what happened and isn't about to. She's tarnished her rabbit goods. Sorry for my rant, but I get angry with them. And I said, Jennifer, not a rant at all. That's what comments are for. I think your thoughts are what the majority of people feel about the whole situation. I don't know about anyone else, but I find it very cathartic to share what we think and feel based on everything we read about them. I'll admit, when I'm shook or disturbed by actions I see them, I like to discuss these topics with others who follow them. So type away and share it. We want to hear what you have to say. Then it's easier to let it go for me. And it is. I just get on here and have my little rants or give my thoughts on the articles that I've read. It's good to be reminded of things they've done because we have forgotten some, or at least I forget. And we do. When people point out all these things, it's like so much has happened. There is no way. It's like an encyclopedia of bad behavior that you forget sometimes all the things that they've done. So I love it. Moongazy Cat. It proves that this marriage was not for love, enraged because Harry won't be king. If he were, she couldn't be swanning around L.A. Imagine that woman married to a king. Even more repulsive than that's the fact that she's married to a prince. That is what it's all about. No respect for her husband's family or nation. It really is about me when it comes to Meghan. And guys, I just picked out a few of the comments. I'm just so touched that people take the time to watch my videos. I know I'm not anyone special. I just do it for fun. I do it because it's something I'm interested in, and I've just never seen anybody in the public eye that has done the things that she's done and that I believe tells so many lies. So that's why I do it. So when people watch or people subscribe, and especially when they take time to leave their comments, I appreciate that so much. I'm a small enough channel that I can read each and every comment. It may take me a day or two to get to them because of managing the other social media pages and then doing my own research. I spend a lot of time researching. Even though I may read from articles, I still do research on the articles that I read because I want to make sure I feel confident that that article is writing about the truth. But again, thank you for taking the time to leave these comments. And I used to do this and show comments in my videos before I got sick and stopped making them. So I think I'm going to do this periodically. And I think it's fun. And because I know when I watch a video and leave my comment, unless someone replies to it, if I'm on someone else's channel, I may not go back and see other comments that were left later. But I love reading comments there too because everybody is watching this. We're following this. It's just like, you know, current events and hot topics or hot gossip or whatever you want to call it. But we're intrigued by it for whatever reason. We're all drawn to it. And that's why we have such a sweet community where we can come together and talk about these things. Lisa Bella says, Meghan Markle is not only bossy and entitled, but she has no class and no manners. Thank you for your videos. You're welcome, and thank you, Lisa. Mandy Parsons says, I believe that as soon as she realized she would never be top dog, that she planned to leave and dish lies on the royal family. I believe that too. I believe that she may be planned it all along, or once she got in and saw that there were different rules and that she was meant to follow them, she thought, I'm not having this. I'm an independent woman. I'm a modern woman. I don't listen to anybody, including my husband, but I'm going to go out and do what I want to do, and nobody's going to stop me. At least that's my opinion of how she views the choices that she makes. But this hug is for you, those that have left comments, for all my viewers, all the subscribers. And I just want to thank you all because you make my day each and every day. And please keep the comments coming. Give me suggestions on videos you'd like to see me do. Anything like that. This is our shared community. And I feel that way when I go and watch my other favorite YouTubers. And if you want to see the people I watch, I always put that in a hashtag in the description so that you can see the people that I enjoy watching, or that, but I enjoy their content. What I like about everybody doing their own, and I'm just so for everybody creating a platform that lets you voice your opinions, is because it is cathartic. It is fun. It's entertaining. And it's like a hobby for us. And it's definitely not a hate account, as we all know. But we may not agree with the things that she does. But that don't mean we hate her, not at all. I don't hate her. I don't know her to hate her. But I do feel like that because she's in the public eye, that myself and everyone else has a right to be able to talk about what we think. And that's all we do on this channel. And you'll notice that there's a lot of things I'd like to talk about, but if I like to find it in print, I like to find proof, because I try to stay away from speculation, because it's very easy to go down that rabbit hole and read things or see things and form an opinion. But I try to be open-minded and read a lot, look at a lot, research it, and to make sure that I'm not going down a rabbit hole. But I love the royal family, and I love Queen Elizabeth II, and think she's the most amazing woman that has ever lived, especially in my day and time. And I enjoy the royal family. They're not perfect. They're like, at the end of the day, they're just like us. They've got families, good and bad parts of their families. We all have some sort of dysfunction. But it bothers me that I feel like Meghan's been able to get Harry to turn against his family, and she's just ghosted hers. She said a few things, and that's got her in hot water, as we see now with Samantha. But I just think that we have a right to talk about it, and so we'll keep doing that. And I used to, even one last thing, I used to keep my comments turned off until after I reviewed them, because I had so many horrible, mean sugar attacks, and I thought, no, I'm not going to live my life that way. If they come on and do that, I'm not going to engage with them, because they have a right to their opinion. But also, they need to find a different channel to watch, because this is not a fan account for her. So I'll just block them and move on. And that's the way I choose to deal with it. For me, that's what works. But I love you all. Thank you again. Have a wonderful day. And I'll be back with you very soon.